they still have not. You could see point blank how difficult it is to move up in the standings once you just build yourself a hole, because they still have not moved above the third wild card spot.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, can you believe we're recapping a sweep?
Speaking of football, Stacey, run the damn ball. We'll explain in a little bit.
Yes. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, and hit the bell so you're notified whenever our videos go live. And we have a TikTok page if you're there. Follow us if you can at LockedOn_Yankees. We're creeping up upon 700 followers on TikTok. Pretty cool. On today's show, we're going to tell you some news around the league, and we're going to have a discussion about the Yankees running game, which we saw on display in St. Louis. Brian has some thoughts about something the manager said after the game. We'll get to that in segment 2. He's already shaking his head. You know it's not going to be positive. But first, let's talk about something positive. The Yankees were able to complete a sweep. Hallelujah. There was no letdown. They tried to let it down, and it didn't happen. And they're on a little bit of a run here.
So it's a sweep. It's 5 of the last 6. It's 7 of their last 10. They still have not. You could see point blank how difficult it is to move up in the standings once you just build yourself a hole, because they still have not moved above the third wild card spot with all of that and playing the best baseball they've played in 2 months. So think about that for a second. I heard a good point after this game. The Yankees are supposed to beat the team they're supposed to beat, and it's no longer a point in time when you can accept series victories. You have to sweep teams. You have to win every game possible. Every game is important now. And this Cardinals team, while they do have talent, is a team you should beat. Is a team you're better than, definitively. And they went out there. They played them tough. The Cardinals certainly played the Yankees tough. They came back in almost every game here. But the Yankees showed they were the better team. And these are teams that you have to win. I want to try and pigeonhole something if I can and create like a little fenced-in moment in the Yankees season. So they played really well the first a month and a half of the season. Got off to that really great start. We've documented that, obviously. Then they go into Kansas City.
I would say 2.5 months, because I think everything started falling apart mid-June, like June 13th.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're actually all right, yeah.
Yeah.
They go to Kansas City. They sweep the Royals. After that Royals series, they head to Boston and get swept by the Red Sox and play absolutely awful. And it kind of went downhill from that series. That seems to be the marker of where it started going downhill, is right after that Kansas City series ended and they headed to Boston. Well, now they swept the Cardinals on the road. The Yankees' last road sweep was at Kansas City. So let's hope it's Kansas City, terrible play, sweep of the Cardinals, and great play the rest of the way out. I may be trying to shove a square peg into a round hole, but we're doing everything we can.
Yeah, but there were a lot of good things in this series. Let's talk about Sunday's game first, just because it's fresh in our minds. It's Monday. Yeah. We're talking about the weekend. A lot of interesting things happening in this game. You have stolen bases. You have errors that actually help your team in that case, right? You have a starting pitcher who struggles to get through 4 1/3, but who is also, let's say, screwed by the umps to start the game, and it made things go a little longer for him. It was a hot day. It was 94. There was no break from the sun. You could tell how disgusting it was. There were barely any people in the stands. You could hear individual people screaming during the game because there was no one there. And it was just, I could see it was hard for everyone in the game to deal with the heat. I'm not going to fault Will Warren for too much in this game. There were some close calls that he didn't get. But you had ejections in the game as well. Not Aaron Boone, though, surprisingly.
No, weirdly enough, yeah.
Weirdly enough. And it was one of those games where the Yankees won in ways that you don't expect them to win, which is what
Which is
you
a good
want to
thing.
see from them. You don't want to see them constantly hitting home runs. Like, we'll talk about Saturday's game because it was great, but you want to see them score in different ways, and they did that on Sunday.
There are two things here that are very interesting to me. One, when multiple guys on both teams get ejected by umpires, it's probably the umpires that are at fault there. It's probably them making bad calls. The Yankees and the Cardinals both got ejected for complaining about the same thing.
Right.
So it's probably the umps that were off there too. Another little
Yeah.
interesting thing too that Girardi mentioned on the broadcast, these teams have iPads in their dugouts now.
Yeah, they
So
can
they're
see everything
seeing these pitches. Yeah, they know.
instantaneously. Yep.
And the ump was drastically off on multiple strike pitches, which probably is why Will Warren only pitched under 5 innings. And Will Warren, which is weird that you mentioned that too with the Warren start too, because it's considered a rough start because he didn't get out of the 5th, but he actually pitched pretty well.
Yeah.
He actually wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't a bad start. I put in our rundown, I put rough in quotes because it's not
but I think
a terrible start.
If you look at the box score, you would think that he wasn't great. And he wasn't terrible in this game at all. Yankee bullpen was good. Love that they ran the ball here. But to your point, winning the game by doing things, you forced the other team to create issues, which is generally the medicine that Yankees are often served.
Exactly.
But they were able to kind of discover a way to win when you don't have your best stuff. This is a game they probably lose a month ago.
Yeah.
Where
or
a lot
even
of
2
issues
weeks
are
ago
caused.
at this point.
Exactly. So you gotta take little things where they can. And one last thing on Sunday's game. There is a clear difference that José Caballero could make on this team.
Oh,
Very obvious. His speed, the way that he plays the game, the way that he creates. He is unequivocally, very obviously a former Tampa Bay Ray.
Yes.
He plays like a Tampa Bay Ray. He does. He's annoying out there. He is pesky. He will bunt. He will do anything to get a hit. He will run the bases hard. He will run you over. He is a brat of a player to face, and you need one of those guys on your roster.
Girardi said that in the broadcast. He said he's the type of guy who's, if he's not on your team, he annoys you to no end. But when he's on your team, you love him. And they even talked to Caballero after the game and said, you've had some run-ins with the Yankees in the past, and how did everything go when you first came over? He's like, oh yeah, we talked about it. We laughed about it. Everything's good. Obviously. Over the weekend, he was 5 for 11, all singles, which that's great.
Fine.
2 walks.
I said fine. Like I don't need power from him. They have power.
No, you don't. 2 walks, an RBI. He scored 4 times, and he stole 4 bases, which is great. One quick thing.
Kind of player that you want.
One quick thing about Sunday: Goldschmidt starts, plays, finishes 3 for 5. He's honored by, he got the tip of the cap from the Cardinals fans who were there sweating it out in the heat on Sunday. But, good game for him considering his knee is really bothering him. You can tell.
And he deserved it. Cardinal, I wouldn't call him a legend, but very well respected in that clubhouse, in that city. So deserves it. Won an MVP there. Took him to the playoffs 4 times.
Yeah.
Definitely deserving of all of that.
Yeah.
Friday's game. The positive here to me, they get the win, and Doval was great in this start, out of the bullpen. Oh, no, he was not good in that game.
No.
Luis Gil is the real positive here. He gets over 5 innings, only gives up a run. There's 4 hits there, 4 strikeouts. He was really, really good in this spot. And after Doval is not good in this game, they bring in Bednar, and Bednar shows you who Bednar is. He is a bulldog. He's an animal out there. Mm-hmm. He is. He doesn't care how many pitches he threw the night before. He doesn't care how many he's going to be asked to throw the night after. He goes out there. He shoves. He gets them to victory. It was an absolutely massive performance. Friday's win, I called, if you watched the short on TikTok, which you should be watching every day and following our TikTok. David Bednar gave the Yankees one of their first big boy wins of the year. That is a gutsy, big playoff type victory.
Yeah, because they had to keep the lead. They were up 4-3 for a few innings there, and they had to shut the Cardinals down and make sure that they didn't come back, because the Cardinals were pesky all weekend. You saw it in Saturday's game. The Yankees had to score 12 runs over the Cardinals 9 to win that game because it was just back and forth.
How is Saturday the second time Ben Rice has driven in 7 in a game?
Well, the 3 home run game, was that the one where he had 7? Yeah.
The only other thing about Saturday's game that I got to mention is Max Fried might be an issue for them. He doesn't credit to be the blister, and no one else is mentioning the blister. So you can't use the blister as an excuse. If it was the blister and they were telling you it is, then I would toss it up to the blister because that's a hard thing to pitchers to recover from. If they're not going to tell you that, then I'm not going to assume it is the blister.
Right.
But I'm sorry, since the All-Star break, he has not been good. His ERA is over 6 since then. For how good he was at the start of the year, he has not been good since. And they need him to figure things out because I'm sorry if they have. It looks like they're going to get in the playoffs, but if they have any hope of making any kind of run, they're not doing it without him.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound so familiar? The team started off really well. Then they went through this really hard spell. Same thing. Max Fried is doing the same thing. So yeah, Rice with the 7 runs driven in. Grisham was 4 for 5. He scored 4 times. The Yankees actually didn't embarrass themselves on a Fox game. I know I joked about it on Friday's show because I really thought that would happen. It didn't. I mean, they tried multiple times, but the offense didn't let that happen. They had to bring Bednar in to get the last out. He only threw 3 pitches, but he got the last out to cement that win. Cement that win? That's not a saying, is it?
Yeah, it is. They held it down. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I do want to say this. Brian Cashman was probably smiling watching this game because they absolutely rocked Sonny Gray. So it made him look right that he let Sonny Gray walk.
Right. Yeah.
Rock Sonny Gray.
I forgot about that whole thing.
I do want to say this too, and this will be more of an off-season discussion, but really quickly for you guys to just start thinking about and letting it marinate in your brains. If you want Trent Grisham back on the Yankees, which they do, it's going to cost them.
Yeah,
he's had a career year.
He's playing himself into a nice high amount of money. AAV.
I think he's playing his way up to like $15 million a year.
Yeah,
which the Yankees are not going to pay if you're not getting Bellinger and him then.
Right.
You're just not.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But let's not worry about that. So the Yankees sweep the Cardinals. They actually don't punt the Sunday game.
Shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking. It looked a little scary there when the Cardinals pulled ahead, but the Yankees made it happen mostly by doing smart things on the bases, which leads us into segment 2. We'll talk about that in a moment. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. We put the link in the description, both on audio and video. You will get text from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings, any kind of rehab updates that I have for you, because there's plenty of those. Trades and signings. We send out the lineups during the season, roster moves, and any breaking news so you don't have to check social media. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up, we're going to discuss the Yankees running game this weekend and also a little bit of small ball and everything else that was happening because Aaron Boone said something interesting that Brian's going to dissect next.
This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is already heating up and college football is not that far behind. And whether you've got your eye on big name quarterbacks or breakout running backs, PrizePicks makes it easy to get in on the game. And for daily fantasy purposes, I love Joe Burrow going into this year. Look at the numbers he put up last year when the Bengals didn't make the playoffs. I think he's going to have an absolutely stellar year, throw for over 40 touchdowns, and have a great year. You can't go wrong with Mahomes or Josh Allen either. Both guys, they're going to put up monster numbers fantasy-wise, and they're the guys that you can get in on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player staff projections. If you get those picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Now, I've used PrizePicks for a few seasons now, and I love how simple it is. PrizePicks always puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, run your game. So, Stacey, you saw a common theme with the Yankees, specifically in this third game of the series where they finished off the sweep against the Cardinals. They decided to start running the ball a lot. Not running the ball. I'm getting football in my head. They were running on the bases a lot. And I personally think this is the best version of this Yankee team. When they're able to create havoc on the base paths and kind of play a mid-90s style of baseball before the power era hit in, where you're forcing errors upon the other teams. You're making them panic when the ball is hit to them for multiple reasons. Caballero, Dominguez, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. are all guys that can create problems on the base paths. They're all guys that get good jumps out there, have tons of stolen bases this year, and can be a problem in the postseason. Here's what putting a runner on base does. Just so you got on first base. It has the pitcher start worrying about the guy on first base. Multiple pickoff attempts are going to mean he's focusing less on the batter, less on the pitches that he wants to throw to the batter. And also, he's focusing less on just executing and throwing the pitches that he needs to pitch. When a ground ball is hit to someone, the infielder, if they're trying to turn two, has to rush a little bit. And even if it's that short little bit of rushing or missed footwork, whatever it is, that can create errors. That can create rush plays. That can create the ball getting thrown away. That's key also. Also, if you put the ball in the gap there, that guy likely scores from first base. There's multiple things that happen when you have a guy on the bases that can make problems. The Yankees have multiple guys on their roster, and they need to use that to their advantage. Now, I want to get your opinion on this. Now they've got Caballero. The team this weekend had 9 stolen bases. Caballero had 4 of them, which is unbelievable. They've got 38 stolen bases now in their last 20 games. So they clearly are trying to change the way they do things. Now, I want you to get your opinion on this quote. They asked Boone about the running, and he said, "We can do that well. It just depends on matchups." That quote bothered me personally before I get what you had to say on it. And here's why. Like football, and I want to compare this to football, the thing that's said most in football is whatever you're good at on offense, you go into that game, you want to try and dictate what you do on the field. Make the other team play your style of play. Don't let them dictate the style of play. Good teams dictate the style of play that's going to be played in this game. Why are the Yankees depending on determine what they're going to do in the game and how they're going to attack the game based on what the other team is doing? No. That is the wrong way to approach any type of sport. Don't go into a series looking at another team and being like, oh, well, they're really bad at defending the run, so now we're going to try and steal bases. Try and steal bases in every single series. You should become if you're good at this, you should become the team that every team goes into a series against the Yankees and goes, oh no, we got to play this team that runs all the time. Right. That's what you want to become. Don't not steal because they're good at throwing guys out. Make them prove they're good at throwing guys out. You cannot let another team dictate how you're going to play, especially when it's currently your best attribute. I want to know how you feel about this because that quote bothered me so much.
I would rather them attempt to steal bases against a team that's good at getting guys out in that way to try and test them than to just have guys stand on first base not doing anything. I'd rather see them attempt it than not try.
Let's say, I'll paint a scenario for you. Jazz gets on. Jazz is one of those games where he bats third. Jazz gets on. He's batting second in this game. Gets on first base. Judge hits double the next at bat. Now it's second and third with 1 out, and the next 2 guys strike out and the inning's over. If Jazz steals that base to second base and then Judge hits a double, Jazz scores and the Yankees are up, have that run. What if the Yankees wound up losing that game 3-2? That one run would have tied the game, put it into extra innings, where they'd probably lose anyway. But you get my point. They'd probably have an opportunity at that point to win that game. Little runs get created like that. You don't know what's going to happen throughout the course of a baseball game. You have to try and create runs where you can. And causing, plus, if you get, say 5 other guys try to steal bases in that game, and the Yankees go 1 for 6 on stolen base attempts, that one stolen base might have created a run, so that run is worth so much more than the other stolen base attempts. You have to go into series trying to dictate play, trying to dictate what other teams make them study.
Yeah, why are you being passive? That's being passive, saying, oh, well, they have a strong, they stop the run well. They don't let you run. The catcher has a strong arm, this and that. Every catcher screws up occasionally. Even the best, guy to throw out base runners will screw up every once in a while. So maybe try to make him do that. The best second baseman will occasionally overthrow a ball if someone is running with all of their might to first base.
Pudge Rodriguez, Yadier Molina, name the guy. They all had problems at times throwing the ball. And again, even with Jazz, if he's dancing around on first base and creating problems and the pitcher has to keep throwing over and it gets in his head, that's another opportunity. He might leave a slider right over the plate where Giancarlo can hit it 400 feet or Judge can hit it 400 feet. Yeah. There's so many things that can happen if you are a brat like that on the base paths that I don't know why you wouldn't try and do that. And Boone basically admitting that if you're good at not allowing stolen bases, we're not even going to attempt. It's only if you stink at it like the Cardinals, then we'll create problems. And I love how in the last 20 games they're proving that that's not the case because they are running the ball a lot more. So maybe Boone's a secret evil genius and he's saying this to throw other teams off. By the way, I highly doubt that's the truth.
I doubt that, but it would be great.
Yeah, but this is how you have to go into series making another team scared that you're gonna have to play perfect defense to beat the Yankees, because the Yankees kind of feel that way when they play a lot of teams because they don't play perfect defense a lot. The more and more you can get into teams' heads and make them focus on things like this is the better. This is how you have to play. You cannot let other teams dictate how you're going to attack the game. You have to attack the game yourself.
Also, how do you, after hearing what other teams, the Dodgers, say about you and how you played in the World Series, not think to yourselves, hey, maybe we should start doing more things on the bases to try and make things hard for the other team's defense?
Look at what the Dodgers do. I mean, the Dodgers and the Dodgers have the power hitting too. The Dodgers have that power hitting part of their lineup, but they also steal bases. You have
to have a variety of ways. Like we always talk about it. It's great that they scored all those runs on Saturday. It's great that they did what they did on Friday. They scored early. They kind of allowed the Cardinals to get back in there. And then the bullpen came in and shut them down. And then you have a win on Sunday where you actually lose the lead and then you fight back with one hit in the inning. There were walks. There was a force out. There were two throwing errors. And then, And how did that happen? Because people were running.
No one remembers that. When you look back on this game 2 years from now, they won the baseball game. That's all that matters. And right now it's about collecting wins. And guess what? In the playoffs, that also just counts as a win.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you win games like that in the play. Rarely are guys going to leave a changeup over the middle of the plate where you're going to be able to hit it 500 feet in a postseason game. This is how you win those big games. So you have to dictate play. You have to be the aggressor in all of these games going forward. Like they've been in the last 20 games, continue that. It's very important. We're going to be tracking that and a lot throughout. And we're also going to discuss coming up where they sit in the standings and how they got really, really, really lucky this weekend.
Yes, they did. They actually took advantage of something that happened on Sunday. So coming up, we'll tell you about that, and we'll tell you some news from around the league.
Guys, the next holiday coming up is August 26th, and it's officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. You can take a flyer on MVP races. You like Saquon to repeat at Offensive Player of the Year? What about Mahomes? What about Burrow? Many options. You can crown your champion as early as August. You can get in your Super Bowl picks. Who's going to win? Is the Chiefs always a safe bet? Probably. I like the Niners this year. Or you can parlay division winners, get your dark horses in. It's all available on FanDuel, and it's all the perfect place to get all your futures in. It's finally getting a football season, guys. So as playoff baseball sneaks around, the best sports time of the year, get those futures in. And you could do that by visiting the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. And guys, not only do we cover your team every day, but now we're giving you instant episodes after every single game. Check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman, and it appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. It's also streaming on our YouTube channel. You can get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast. So Stacey, we mentioned before the break, they got super lucky because while they swept the Cardinals, Cleveland also gets swept. They don't play a good series at all. They get held back. The Royals don't win any games this weekend. They get held back. The Yankees got unbelievably lucky in the standings. While they won 3 games, they gained 3 games on the teams that are chasing them. So right now, as it stands, we're recording this this is Monday, but it'll count for Monday anyway because all the teams that they're chasing already played. The Yankees have a 3.5 game lead on Cleveland, a 4 game lead on KC, and a 5.5 game lead on Texas for that last wild card spot. So Texas is slowly but surely playing their way out of it, which is crazy because I think they're the hardest team to play if they get into the postseason. But they are slowly playing their way out of it. They're also only a half game behind Boston.
Yeah.
Who took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins, but lost on Sunday. So we talked about this too. all their games are so important to win because you can make so much happen by winning on a certain day when another team loses. It creates that much more of a problem. The Mariners are playing currently. They're playing a Little League Classic game against the Mets. We'll see if they're able to win that game. But they're only a game behind the Mariners for that top wild card spot. So things could move really quickly. And, gee, that series next weekend against the Red Sox, those 4 games, insanely massive.
I'm expecting the worst. Is that bad of me? Just because they've played against them so this feels different because there have been other years where the Yankees start bad against the Red Sox, but this just feels like one of those years where the Red Sox have their number. Like there were years where
2009, they started like 0-9 against the Red Sox, right? And then they wound up finishing the year 500 against them.
Even teams who do really well, there's just like that one team who's like your bugaboo team that you just can't beat them.
You can't afford to beat this team.
Yeah, and it seems like it's Boston, which is bad. Like, other years when it's like you can't beat the Athletics, like in the old days when it wasn't. Yeah, like there would be years where the Yankees just could not. Like there was one year where they went 0-9 against the Athletics, like in the 90s. Not when they were good in the 90s, but when they were getting better. And it's just, it happens. It's bad that it's the Red Sox.
Who are the Red Sox playing during? I think the Yankees are playing Tampa for 2 games. The Red Sox play the Orioles for 2 games. And the Orioles do generally play the Red Sox really tough.
Yeah, for some reason.
So let's see if the Orioles can help the Yankees out.
Yeah.
The Red Sox also are benefiting too because they're also doing that 2-game series thing that baseball created. But here's the thing: the Red Sox are going to play the Orioles on Monday and Tuesday. The Yankees are playing on Tuesday and Wednesday. So it is a little bit of that. They don't get the day off. The Red Sox have that day off because it's a travel day from Boston to New York. Right. They're getting that day built in. This series is going to be so big, and they need to win. They just, I mean, that's simple as that. They cannot lose 3 out of 4. They can't lose the series, and they certainly can't get swept.
No. And hopefully some of the things that they've been doing over the last 20 games will seep into the games against.
Hey, they should have plenty of film on Carlos Narvaez.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the news from around the league that's going on, your favorite segment. So the Brewers finally lost on Sunday, which is crazy after 14 in a row. They built that to a 9-game, it's now an 8-game lead over the Cubs, which is absolutely insane to have an 8-game lead over the Cubs with how good those teams have both played this year. The fact that the Brewers have basically clinched the division now in August, no one would have ever guessed that. Now they do play a big 4-game series starting on Monday, so the Cubs could get it down to 4 games if they really wanted to, but this Brewers team is real good.
Yeah.
Real good, scary good. They pitch really well. Their bullpen's really good. By the way, they got walked off by the Reds on Sunday. So they very easily could have won 15 in a row. That's like the first blown save the Brewers have had in 2 months. So that team is scary. Is there a fear in your head they're peaking too quickly though?
Yes.
Or too early?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they might be. It would be better if they were doing this heading more into September. I know we're like midway through August here, but yeah. I think that peaking and playing your best baseball as you're heading into the playoffs might be a little better because there might be a letdown, but you never know. They could just really just go on this run and keep going.
It's rare though, because usually you want to start getting into your groove around September 12th, 13th, around that period of time, not this early, because there has to be a letdown. Just the standard what is it, deviation or whatever. Like you have to basically kind of regress to the mean at some point of what you really are. So that's crazy. The Aaron Nola came back, gave up 6 runs in 1 inning in his first start back after 3 months. So the Phillies, they wound up beating the Nationals, but Aaron only gave up 6 runs in an inning. That was actually wild too.
And that was after the Phillies had scored 6 runs, and then the Nats came back and scored 6 to tie it 6-6 in that 1 inning.
Which is wild. They're a pesky team. The Yankees are going to play them in 2 weeks. They're an annoying team to go after too. That Nationals team, not an easy team to play. Chris Paddock for the Tigers had to start against the Twins. That didn't go well. He gave up 8 earned against his former team. I guess they had film on him, but that has got to be super frustrating because you know that he was looking forward to that.
Right. Like he's looking forward to leaving a team that's going nowhere, going to a team that's in first place, and you get hyped up to play against your old team. It's not like you hate them, but you want to be better than them and be like, yeah, okay, you got rid of me. I'm going to show you that was a mistake. And
not good.
He didn't show
Not
that.
good at all. Then we get to the Padres-Dodgers. And this is wild because the Padres stacked their bullpen at the deadline and somehow this year have erased a 9-game lead the Dodgers once had in this division. And they play each other at Dodger Stadium. They'll play next weekend too, by the way, in San Diego. They play at Dodger Stadium. And Stacey, the Dodgers sweep the Padres out of them. The Padres almost had game 3 of this series. Robert Suarez comes in late. Mookie Betts homers off of him. The Padres bullpen is what blew it too. I mean, you got to be able to beat the team in front of you. It feels like this year the Dodgers are just that they know they're really good and they're just playing with their food. They know they're really good and they're not taking the regular season seriously. Shame on them for doing that, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's odd because they step it up for certain series because they're always hyped for the Padres. And I know people want to say the Freeway series is something, but no one cares about the Dodgers and Angels. No. I don't even think people in California care about the Dodgers against the Angels. And the Angels swept the entire season series against the Dodgers. And then the Dodgers come in, they're like, oh, here's the Padres. Let's eat them for lunch because we always do. And they do. And they sweep them in 3 games. It's just, ugh.
It just feels like they don't care about the regular season because they know they're going to be in the playoffs and that's all that matters to them. It's so frustrating for them. You got to feel bad for them. You do.
Yeah. This next one, I love this. I saw this on Reddit actually. So Orioles manager Tony Manzolino said that starter Dean Kramer asks to pitch 120 pitches every time he starts. Now Kramer says, it's more kidding, but I'd like to get to 120. The guys back in the day got to 150. There's a reason they threw 600 innings every year, but it would be cool to throw 120 every time.
Yeah, I love it. That's a David Bednar quote. If I told you that,
yeah.
I absolutely love pitchers that are like that. By the way, too, on that the Phillies news too. Zach Wheeler, we got a note on Saturday, has a blood clot in his shoulder, which is obviously a really serious injury, but who knows how long that's going to keep him out? Because if it keeps him out for any extended period of time, that is almost a death knell for the Phillies. They need him so bad, and that is a huge, and especially with Nola coming back and not looking good, boy, can they not? That is the worst news the Phillies could have possibly got.
Yeah, that's scary. Let's send him good wishes because you don't want to hear blood clot near your shoulder when someone's a pitcher or anyone with a blood clot.
And honestly, too, just for baseball fans, obviously we wish Zach Wheeler the most health. Absolutely. But from a baseball standpoint, I want to see the Phillies go into the playoffs full strength. I don't want to see them win injury. I want to see their full roster go at it, like against the Dodgers, the Mets, or anything. I want to see that. I don't want to see them have to try and figure things out without their ace. I want their ace on the mound. So a speedy recovery for Zach Wheeler. Hopefully he can get back for October.
Yep. All right, well, thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. You get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.